do what you know you're allowed. No. It goes beyond that. In other words, you are allowed to do what you're thinking now.
With the actual, does it break the law? Not ejaculation, but there's the white discharge. Does that break the wudu?
That's the white discharge, the sexual sperm or the prostatic fluid. That is the prostatic fluid, which is the extraction when you feel that desire. Break your wudu. It does break your wudu. It does not break your fast. It does not break your fast. One thing here we've got to make sure of and understand, that everything that you are the reason for, which is the sexual sperm, if you are the cause of that sexual sperm extracting, coming out, then that expiation falls on you. Then that expiation falls on you. If you are not the reason, in other words, a wet dream occurred, then you have no problem on you at all. Just like if you wake up for Fajr and you are in a state of sexual defilement, then you continue fasting on that day, and you do not say you should not fast because you have not had a shower before the appearance of Fajr. No, the way of Muhammad ﷺ was that he fasted even though he was in such a state. What do you recommend? Let's answer one, inshallah. What do you recommend for us to have for suhoor? I recommend what Muhammad ﷺ recommended to all of us, is how excellent is the dates for suhoor. How excellent is the dates for suhoor. The best thing you can have for suhoor is dates, and I advise every single person to have suhoor. As the hadith mentions, it is a blessed nourishment. It is a blessed nourishment. And oranges, and it is a blessed nourishment. Likewise, if you do not want to have dates, you don't want to have your kapsa and the chicken over it, you don't want to have lasagna or spaghetti, you don't want to have what the Lebanese have, Allahu musta'an, then you just have a gulp of water, a sip of water. All you have is a sip of water, and that is a blessing if you do such. It is a blessing if you do such. When are you allowed to have suhoor? What time? We've got to understand something here, very important. If we look at the so-called Islamic calendars today, there was a lot of innovation introduced on those calendars. And the innovation I'm referring to here is, there's a big word in Ramadan called imsak. What's it called? Imsak. The imsak is rendered to being withhold. Withhold from what? They say 10 minutes before Fajr, which is before the true Fajr, because there's a false Fajr and a true Fajr. The false Fajr is the vertical column that appears in the horizon like the tail of a fox, a white line. That's a false Fajr. Do not be deceived. The true Fajr is a reddish in the horizon. That is the time when the appearance of Fajr has appeared, and you are not allowed to eat or drink after that. As for the false Fajr, those people of innovation, of ignorance, what they do is, they have calendars saying imsak, saying you are not allowed to go beyond that point in eating or drinking. This is false. This is not right. It is haram to put such things on the calendars like this. Why? Because a person wakes up 10 minutes before the Fajr, the true Fajr appears, and says, oh, hold on, it's imsak time. The poor person is going to miss out on his food. And the sunnah is to have it later, to delay your suhoor, just before Fajr. The hadith mentions 50 verses, what it takes to recite 50 verses. So you are allowed to have it. Get someone some water for Adam, please. You are allowed to have it just before, Abdul Ghani, didn't drink this. You are allowed to have it just before Fajr. In other words, before the call of Fajr. Even if the adhan for Fajr is being announced. Even, brothers and sisters, understand this very carefully. Even if the Fajr has been called, the Fajr, the adhan that allows you to pray, the Fajr prayer, if that's been called, if you had a vessel in your hand, a cup for example, can you drink it? You hear the adhan for Fajr. Not the imsak, that's garbage, forget about that. Forget about the Fajr now. Imsak is just a load of crap. Now the Fajr has appeared, the true Fajr. The adhan is being made, the muaddin is calling the adhan. Are you allowed to continue this vessel? The utensil in your hand, you can finish what you need to finish. Umar ibn Khattab was sitting. He said, Ya Rasulullah. He showed him the cup in his hand. Should I drink it or should I put it down? The adhan was being called. He goes, drink it until you're satisfied. The other narration mentions in Abu Dawood, do not let the vessel down, do not put it down until you are satisfied, even if the call of adhan was being called. So do not be deceived by those calendars. They are deceiving and unacceptable. As for the question, the best for suhoor is what? Dates. Ya Mu'adh.
Can you advise people to break his fast without any reason, especially for people, he said, because I'm working. What's the punishment?
A person who deliberately breaks his fast without any Islamic valid reason. There is no authentic narration that confirms the exact punishment. However, what we do have is that fast can never ever be made up. The fast that is broken without any Islamic reason, it can never ever be made up. There is no confirmation, no authentication, no affirmation that you are obliged to make up that day if you deliberately break it. No confirmation whatsoever. So, a person breaks it, the only thing you can do is sincerely repent to Allah Ta'ala. That's first of all. We got the closest thing we got to this is that on the day of judgment, or not on the day of judgment, when Muhammad Sallallahu was sleeping, two men came to him and said, let us climb this wall. He climbed this wall and he heard howling, severe howling. And it was said to him that this is the howling of the people of hellfire. Then he went to a place where he saw people hung by their hamstring. Hung by their what? By their hamstrings. Hung by their hamstrings with their jaw bones all broken, torn apart, gushing with blood. He said, who are these people? This is the punishment of the grave for those sinners. And who are these people? Because these are the people who break their fast before its due time. Just before its due time. So in other words, deliberate. Imagine that. If these are the people who intended fasting, but just before its time they broke it. So this is the closest we have regarding this issue of those who break their fast without any just reason. And like I said, there is no confirmation that you have to make up for it. Ya Ustadh Feiz Mohammad. Tfaddal.
Shaykh, what about people that delay it for like another half an hour, 45 minutes after that make it compulsory?
Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was asked about Al-Wisal, which is the connection of fast. Are you allowed to connect your fast to the next day? In other words, you do not break your fast. This is against the Sunnah. He prohibited what's called Al-Wisal. The hadith mentions this nation will keep strong, keep pure, as long as they hasten to break their fast. As long as they hasten to break their fast. Do not say when the reddish in the horizons appeared, sunset, wallah, it's better maybe to be sure. No. No, that's a satanic whisper. As soon as you are sure that it's sunset, you break your fast. What do you break it with? Likewise, Muhammad Sallallahu used to break it with dates. If it was fresh dates available, he will break it with fresh dates. If he had no fresh dates, he will break it with dry dates. No dry dates, he will break it with water. Close years of need. He will break it with water. So this is the way he broke it. An important point here. When we break our fast, the majority of us have already on the table banquets, correct? You got your rice, you got your chicken, you got your meat, you got your lasagna, you got your spaghetti, you got your chicken and toom, you've got your cups already, you got your sweets, your cakes, the Lebanese sweets, you got Allahumma musta'an ready. What do you do here? The sunnah, brothers and sisters, is that you break your fast on that basic. Dates, water, if you're able to break it on dates and water. You go and pray, then you go back and eat and drink till you're satisfied. This is the sunnah. You get more rewards for it if you do it the way, rahmakallah, as Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam performed it. Naam ya Ustadh Azad.
And if you get to someone's house eating there, is that rude to do what you just said?
If you go to someone's house and they presented the food on the table, then you eat with them. However, you do not delay that eating just before Isha, where you get many people. When they break their fast, they got so much food there, they think that food is going to run away. So they put all the food in front of them,
to